class, the first thing you need to do is you need to go to aplusstudents.com. You need to go to the website. Once you're on the website, select maths as your subject. This is a grade 4 maths lesson. And the name of the topic for today is division. I'll give you the chapter number and the lesson number. The chapter number 11 and the lesson number 9. The chapter number is 11 and the lesson number is 9. And the name of the lesson is divide by one digit number. And what we will do today is we will estimate the quotient. Estimate the quotient, the whole value. Okay, let's look at an example. What inspiration? So if for the example, if I say if I have a number that is 75 is to be divided by 9, right? So let's see what happens over here. What would be the quotient, what would be the divisor, and the remainder, right? When 75 was divided by a 9, we know that 9 is the divisor. Okay, 75 is the dividend which is being divided. Okay, hi Carrie. Okay, okay, so we have the divisor and the dividend. What we need to look at is the quotient. We are looking at quotient in this. Okay, so we know that 9 times 7 was 63 and 9 times 8 was 72, right? So what we can do is 9 times 8 was a 72. When we subtract, we are left with a 3. The 3 over here is the remainder and the 8 was the quotient. So what we are trying to do, okay, so what we are trying to do is we are trying to estimate the quotients. Okay, let's look at the first question. The first, we have word problems and we'll simplify the word problems. The question number 1 says, a clothing store has 77 sweaters. If the sweaters are stored in a pile of 6, about how many piles should the store make? Choose the better estimate. Let me resize this. For us, question number 1. A clothing store has 77 sweaters and they were piled up in piles of 6. How many complete piles were made, right? So what we need to do is 77 sweaters were arranged in piles of 6. We need to find complete piles. Okay, so let's divide. When 77, the dividend is to be divided by the divisor, we can say 6 times 1 is 6. We are left with one remainder. The 7 is carried down, right? That means 6 times 2 is 12. And we would be left with 5 at the end, right? That means 6 times 12 is 72, right? There were 6 piles. There were 12 piles which had 6 each, right? But 5 was the remainder. That means these 5 also have to be put in a pile, right? The total would be 77. How many piles would be used? 13 piles, right? Should be made. Is a better estimate because the remaining 5 were to be kept in a pile as well. Do we agree? Okay, I'll do it again. Okay, I'll explain it again. Okay, each pile has 6. Let's draw a shape. Okay, if we have each pile has 6 on it, I just make 6 dashes representing 6 sweaters, right? If this is one pile has 6 on it, then 2 piles will have 12, right? 4 piles will have 24. Agreed? Do we agree? 4 piles will have 24. Then 6 piles will have 36. And another 36, right? So if the total for this was 36 plus 36, how many piles were made? There were 12 piles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the total number of sweaters arranged were 72. But we had how many sweaters? We had 77 sweaters, right? Agreed? So the remaining 5 sweaters we have would be arranged in the last pile. The last pile will have how many sweaters? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means 12 piles and 13 piles would be there. Do we agree? 72 sweaters were arranged in 12 piles, right? Then the remaining 5 sweaters would be arranged in the 13th pile. Do we agree? There would be 13 piles of sweaters. Okay, let's see. Let's look at another example. A chef needs to buy 53 potatoes. Okay, let's have a look. A chef needs to buy 53 potatoes. If each bag contains 7, about how many bags would the chef buy? Choose the better estimate. Okay, let's look at this example. If each bag has If each bag has 7 potatoes in it, right? And the chef needs to buy 53. Okay. So what happens over here is, see, if I do it like this, 7 plus 7, what is the total now? 7 plus 7 was 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. Plus 7 is 28. Plus 7 is 35, right? Plus 7 would be 42. Plus 7 is 49, right? But after 49, if 53 minus, sorry, 53, I'm doing it with addition and subtraction first. 53 minus 49, we are left with 4 potatoes, right? How many bags were there? 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, 4 bags, 5 bags, 6 bags, and 7 bags. If the chef buys 7 bags, how many potatoes would he have? He would have 49 potatoes, right? But he needs 53. That means he needs to buy one more bag plus 1 bag. That means the total bags he needs to buy is 8 bags. Agreed? That would mean 8 bags into 7. That is, now he has 56. He has to buy 56 potatoes because they come in bags, right? So with division, what we do is, when 53 was to be divided by 7, right? 7 times 7 is 49. Agreed? And 4 was left, right? So this shows the number of bags. And this shows the number of potatoes left he needs to buy. So in order to buy these 4, he needs to buy 1 extra bag. Agreed? See, we don't we don't have to worry whether he has additional potatoes, right? If he has extra, we don't mind, but he needs to have 53. In 7 bags he had 49, but 49 was not the requirement. The requirement was 53. Agreed? That means he needs to buy 4 extra. So in order to buy 4 extra, they don't have loose 4. You cannot buy just 4 pieces. You have to buy a bag which has 7 in it. Right? So how many bags does he need to buy? 7 complete plus 1 extra bag for the 4 potatoes, right? That means 7 plus 1 would be, he needs to buy 8 bags. Okay? Semi, Yusuf, do we agree on this? He needs to buy 8 bags because each bag has 7. If he buys 7 bags, he only has 49. But his requirement was 53. So in order to make it 53, he buys 1 extra bag. His total is 56. Agreed? 7 will not be the answer. 8 will be the answer because he needs 4 extra also. 4 he wanted. So 4 he cannot buy as loose. So he would need to buy a complete bag. Okay. Let's have a look at another example. Okay. A truck driver has $600 to pay for a bridge toll. Okay, 1 minute. Bridge tax. Just a minute. If the toll is $5 to cross the bridge. How many times can he cross the bridge? Okay. For question number 3, a truck driver has how many dollars? A truck driver has $607, right? The cash in hand is $607. Every time he crosses the bridge, he has to pay $5. They're asking about how many times the driver crosses the bridge. That means if he starts from point A, he goes to point B, he pays $5, right? When he comes back, he pays $5. That means $10. Then he goes back again, he pays $5. Then he comes back, he pays $5, and so on till he spends the entire money. Agreed? So what we can do is 607 is to be divided by 5, right? 5 times 1 is 5. We subtract 6 minus 5 is 1. We bring down the 0. 5 times 2 is 10. We are left with a 0. We bring down the 7, right? Okay. And can 7 be divided by 5? Yes, it can be. So we can say 5 times 1 is 5, and he is left with $2 in the end. So how many times can he do the trip? The driver can cross how many times? The driver can cross the bridge 121 times with $2 change left, right? He would be left with $2 at the end. Do we agree? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Hyman. For the next question, it says, Lisa's floral shops needs, okay, they need to email checks to the bank. Question number 4. Let me just realign this. In question number 4, they're saying Lisa's floral shop needs to mail 698 checks to the bank. If in each envelope, if they can put 9 checks in each envelope, one envelope can contain 9 checks. How many envelopes will the shop need to use? Agreed? They have to send all 698. So we can divide 698 is to be divided by 9. Agreed? Yusuf? 6 cannot be divided by 9, right? But can 60, a number nearer to 60 can be divided by 9? Let's say 9 times 7 and 9 times, see, 9 times 9 would be 81. 9 times 8 is 72. You cannot use that. Let's try with 7. 9 times 7 is 63. So we can say 9 times 7 is 63, right? How much would we be left with? 69 minus 63 is 6. We bring down the 8, okay? And the closest number would be 63 again. That means 63, and we are left with 5 checks at the end, right? We have 77 fill envelopes, right? We had 7. 9 into 7 is 63, right? See, what we can see over here is 9 multiplied by 77 would be 9 times 77 is 693 checks, right? 693 checks were paid in 77 envelopes, right? But what was the total number of checks? The total number of checks was 698 checks, which were to be paid. That means they have still 5 checks left, right? These 5 checks will go in an envelope, right? They cannot be sent openly. So they will also go in an envelope. So how many number of envelopes are being used? 77 envelopes are used for 693 checks. For the remaining checks that they have to put them in an envelope as well, right? So that means the total number of envelopes are 78. Envelopes are to be used. Okay. 78 envelopes would be used by, because 77 are, no, I meant 78. Because 77 would only have 693 checks in it. But we need to send 698. For the remaining 5 checks, we are using one more envelope. See, all the checks have to be in an envelope, right? So 77 envelopes were completely filled with 9 checks each. That means 693 checks were done. 5 checks are left. So the 5 checks cannot be sent individually. They also have to be, they also have to be sent in an envelope. Okay, so the total number of envelopes used would be 78 envelopes. Agreed? 77 completely filled, and the last one has 5 checks in it. Okay, no problem, Naimant. Okay, thank you. For the next question, it says a jazz band wants to sell. Okay, let's see. They want to sell tickets. No, 77 is not the answer. 78 is the answer. Because the last envelope will have 5 checks in it. Okay. Let's say For the next question, it says, question number 5. A jazz band wants to sell $993 worth of tickets, right? If the cost of each ticket is $4, how many tickets will they need to sell to meet their target, right? So they want to earn $993. Agreed? If they want to earn 993, and the cost of each ticket was $4. Let's see how many tickets they need to sell. 4 times 2 is 8. We subtract, we are left with 1. 9 comes down. 4 times 6, 4 times 4 is 16. 19 minus 60 is 3. And this 3 comes down. 4 times 8 is semi. 4 times 8 is 32. We know 4 times 8 is 32 and 4 times 9 is 36. So we can say 4 times 8 is 32 and they're left with $1 as their target, right? So if they sell 248 tickets, so they earn 248 into 4, right? 248 into 4 would mean they earn dollars 992, but that is not their target. Their target is 993 to make $1 more, right? Because the target was 993. So if I would say they sell one more ticket, are they making money more than 993? One more ticket they sell, they're making money greater than their target was 993, right? They can make more money than 993. They never said that they cannot exceed, right? So for $1 they want to earn more, they sell one more ticket. So how many tickets did they sell altogether? They sold 249 tickets, or they need to sell 249 tickets, right? Inspiration. Okay. Do we agree on this? If they sell 248 tickets, they will earn 992. Okay. But their target is 993. They need to earn one more dollars, but they cannot earn one more dollar, right? Thank you, Inspiration. It's okay. They cannot earn one more dollar. So in order to earn one more dollar, they have to sell one more ticket, which gives them $4. 996 now. It's greater than 993, agreed? But we have to count the number of tickets, right? So the number of tickets will become 249 tickets. Agreed? Okay, thank you. Let's move ahead to the next question. Any questions for any concern for this question? I'll re-explain it, no problem. If there is any concern. Otherwise, I'll move on to the next question. Okay. For question number 6, it says a group of 99 people are going on a boat tour. Is just a minute, please. Let me realign this. Choose the better estimate. Okay. If 99 people want to go on a tour, for question number 6, right? Inspiration, focus over here. Okay. See, there are 99 people who are planning to go on a boat. If each boat will hold 4 people, how many boats will the group need, right? See, what we need to do is there's a group of 99. Each boat can hold 4 people, right? How many boats will the group need? Everyone has to go. Inspiration. How many boats would they need? So what we can say is if 99 was divided by the number of people per boat, right? We can say times 2 is 8. Subtract, we are left with 1. We bring down the 9. 4 times 4 is 16. And 3 people are left. 24 boats were used, which are completely filled. And okay, so how many boats were used? Let's look at this. If 24 boats had 4 people each, so how many people were accommodated on boats? These are the number of boats. 24 multiplied by 4 is 96. That means 96 people was 96 people were settled down in 24 boats, right? But the problem is that three people three people are left. So the 3 people also have to be in a boat, right? 3 people were left. So these 3 people will go in one boat. That means the total number of people in the group was 99 people, right? Okay. 3 people for 24 boats, right? Perfect. But those 3 people have to be in a boat as well. So what we can say is the total number of boats required would be 25 boats. Okay. Agreed? So that means 24 boats were completely filled, which had 96 people on it, while 3 people were left. That means 24 plus 1 is 25 boats would be required to put 99 people on it. Okay. Next. A group of 193 students go on a helicopter ride. Just a moment, please. Let me realign this. Okay, the question says a group of 193 students get to go on a helicopter ride. Question number 7. 193 students going on a helicopter ride. Each, if each helicopter ride can hold 6 students. Okay. And they're asking how many helicopters should the group plan to use, or how many helicopter rides would be there. That means if we have a total of 193 students, 193 students, they go in groups of 6, right? When we divide this, it will, inspiration, okay, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, we are left with a 1, we bring down the 3, that means 6 times 2 is 12, and 1 person will be left. There were a total of 32 helicopters that would be used, right? But what about the 1 person that is left? That person also needs to go, okay? That means in, let's say these were the number of helicopters needed, right? If 32 helicopters were needed and each helicopter has 6 people, the total number of people accommodated would be 32 times 6 is 192. But we are left, we had 193 students, right? That means 1 student is left. 1 student also needs to go on the helicopter ride. That means 1, the last student will be in, the total number of helicopters would be needed are 33 helicopters would be needed, right? 33 helicopters will be needed to accommodate. No, he did not. Inspiration, focus over here. 33 helicopters will be needed to accommodate 193 students if each helicopter holds 6 students, right? Do we agree on this? Okay, let's do some questions from the test. Okay. I think you people understand this topic. So let's do, there are no questions. If there were questions, then I would see it on the screen. The chapter was 11:9, chapter 11, lesson number 9, and the test. Just give me a minute. I'll just open up the test and let's see who can answer. A clothing store has 77 sweaters in piles of 6. How many piles do they need to make? The first question from the test says, okay, this is question number 1 from the test. What should be the answer? If this is question number 1, option A, option B, and we are looking at the test. Let's see who understands and who can answer. If the clothing store had 77 sweaters, if the sweaters are stored in piles of 6, how many piles should the store make? Very simple, right? When the answers are given it to you, yes, please let me know inspiration. What is the answer? See, if the options are already given it to you, so we simply do 16, 13 into 16, right? 8, 1, 78, and 8 into 6. What I'm doing is I'm using these two options because they were piles of 6, right? So 48, which is a nearer number to 77. Which piles give a number that is nearer to 77? Yes, option A. When the answers are given to us, it's easy for us to find because we simply multiply it by the number of piles, right? I mean, they had 77 sweaters which have to be stored in pile of 6. So 6 times 13 is 78. That means they need to make 13 piles. Okay. Okay. I, I thought I still had the question, the same one, but it's the hockey team. If I get the chef question, I'll skip it. Okay, these are the two options given to us. And let me resize. A hockey team wants to sell $856 worth of tickets. 856. If each ticket cost $4, how many tickets will they need to sell to meet the target? Right? The options are option A and option B. Simple. Let's multiply the options by $4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. We get no. Yes, thank you, Sami. 0 times 4 is 0, 36. So out of these two options, which one is a better estimate? Which number is closer to 856? 840, right? And 840 we got by multiplying 210. It's not accurate, but it's the closest. They're saying choose the better estimate, right? Let's look at another question. They should have done it accurate. Okay, let's see. They are rounding off the values. They're not doing the exact. They're trying to find the estimates. The same question, floral shop has to send checks to the bank. If 9 checks in each envelope, how many envelopes do they need to use? Simple way is whenever we are doing the estimate, we multiply with the options. 9 checks, and we have to find this checks. So 9 multiplied by 80, right? 0 into 9 is 0 and 720. And 60 multiplied by 9 is 540. So which is a better estimate, right? So we know that 540 is a smaller number. We always have to go to the larger number because 698. That means 80 checks was a better option, right? It's just an estimate. They're not giving the exact. What we did in our working was we did the exact, right? But they are just asking us for the estimates. Perfect. Yes, yes, Semi, we can do it mentally as well, but sometimes we need to show the working, right? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Best of luck. Have a nice day. Do practice the remaining questions. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.